Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Rozier, and I work with Nova Systemic. It's Northern Virginia Community College's STEM outreach program, and I'm also joined by my coworker, Brittany Hollis. She is the IET career coach for Nova and for the IET division. And so Brittany and I have worked this spring and summer to provide opportunities for Nova students and potential incoming Nova students and alumni to learn more about various programs that we offer or professional development opportunities. I'm actually going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do here today, and then I'm going to stop sharing. So we do have two programs today that we're going to spend some time talking about. One is related to our cyber and IT related programs from our faculty member, Kwabena Konadu. Did I say it right, KK?
Absolutely.
He said I said it right. I'm so excited because, you know, you got to get names right these days. And we call him KK, so that makes it super easy. And he is just a wealth of energy and excitement about cyber related stuff. I mean, first time I saw him present a couple months ago, I'm like, he's making me want to go get some certification in cyber stuff. And that's not really my thing. So we really appreciate you being here. And then later on, we'll be hearing from Lisa Scott from our Veterinary Technologies program. So KK, I've given you co-hosting ability. And so if you want to share your screen, let me know. Or if you want me to share the screen, you just let me know and we'll go from there.
Great. I'll share the screen here.
Excellent. We can see it.
Great. And good afternoon. I think I've been introduced already. I'm Kwabena, last name Konadu, and I'm an assistant professor at Nova. I teach cybersecurity, cloud technology, and information technology. So, you know, pretty much I teach anything in the field of cloud or engineering. So I'm going to take this opportunity to actually brief you or demo the programs that we offer at Nova. So these are the three key programs that we offer under the information technology. We offer cybersecurity, AAS, information system technology, AAS, information technology, AS. And I'm going to basically explain to you exactly what those AAS versus AS means, because some people are really confused about these two different programs. Okay, so as you can see, we offer different types of program degrees at Nova. Now, the AS is pretty much geared towards people who want to transfer to four-year college immediately after graduation. Okay, that's what they will say. And that's what I'm saying that I'm going to clarify it, because when they bring in the term AAS, it sounds as if you cannot transfer. And that is not true. Okay, take it from me, that's not true. Now, the AAS degree has different goal. The goal for that is to train people like in the professional world. Hands-on, prepares you for a career right after graduation. That's the goal, okay? So it is offered in the IT, cloud, and security. You will be ready to go on day one when you graduate. This is not true about four-year college. A four-year college, they will read to you, they will read PowerPoints to you. It is theory-based, mostly theory-based. What you need to understand is that the community college prepares you for the workforce. Okay? Now, the fourth bullet, the AAS in IST and cybersecurity program do transfer to institutions such as George Mason University, even Virginia Tech, UVA, ODU, Marymount University. There is a lot of university. For the past year, we have made a transfer agreement with George Washington University, where you can transfer and then they will take all of your credits. You don't lose anything. While some of the institutions, you may lose probably about 3 or 4 classes, okay? But it is worth it. Why? You save a lot of money. because the community college is very, very cheap compared to 4 year, right? Nova also offers a career study certificate for IT and cybersecurity. And the reason why I'm throwing this out there are some people even already with degrees in maybe business, political science, but they cannot find a job. The career study certificate could be just 6 months. You have a certificate in IT or cybersecurity, and you can enter the workforce. Great. So students may sign up for this program just by applying online directly. Okay. You can also meet with your counselor in any of our campuses through virtual meetings like Zoom. Now, some of you are probably wondering, how was this cybersecurity program designed? Well, it was designed for exactly people who are looking for jobs. If you look at the job market right now, right? You Google right now. If it is not healthcare, it is cybersecurity or IT. This is where the job is at right now, as I speak. Millions and millions of jobs. Okay. Now, what makes Nova special? This is what makes us special. Our program is designed with a special accreditation in mind. Okay. And this special designation that I'm talking about is called NSA, which is National Security Agency, or DHS, Department of Homeland Security. They have put a stamp on our program, meaning that they trust us what we are teaching. What we teach people, when they hire them, they know that you can get a job done. Right? Our program is designed to help fight against attacks against banks, attack against national security, our economy. This is what cybersecurity is all about, right? I quoted somewhere in my presentation, I said that I said that oil, gas, it is no longer the most important thing in the world right now, resource in the world. It is not oil. The most important resource in the world right now is information, data. This is why everybody is coming after cybersecurity, so that you can help protect banks, so that you can help protect the government, so that you can help even protect places where you work. Data is the money. It is not oil. You get it? Great. And like I said earlier, the last bullet, I said our program can be transferred into many, many institutions, private and also 4-year colleges. All right. So the information technology, AAS, right? If you think about technology, most of you are young, so you know about technology. Without technology, the global industry cannot do anything, right? Everything that we are doing deals with technology, isn't it? Especially at this moment, this crisis, this pandemic has proved the point that we need technology to thrive in the world. We need technology to move the global market forward, isn't it? Without technology, there is no economy. This is why this program is sought after, IT or cybersecurity, right? So if you look at the chart, the most current IST program that we have developed is the cloud specialization, right? Before, when we are teaching IT, we tell people to touch stuff. You can touch your mobile device. You can touch a computer. Nowadays, it is a new thing. Everything is in the cloud. Everything is in the cloud. As I sit here right now, I am working for a couple companies, but I am sitting at home in my basement and I am doing all my work. Why? All the things are sitting in the cloud. So our new IST AAS degree is called Cloud Specialization. It is the hottest degree. It is the hottest thing right now in the job market. Very, very. But underneath our information technology, notice we have different specializations. Application programming, right? Database. This is people who deal with data, and then manipulate data. We have people who want to work as IT technical support. We have people who deal with networking. We have people who want to do network engineering. We have people who want to develop websites and also develop code. Trust me, when you begin something new, there is a little bit of confusion. You don't need to think about that. In your first or second year, this is where you will recognize that this is the area of IT that I want to be. You get it? Yeah. I mean, just like a baby. A baby in the beginning, when they are born, they have no idea what they want to do. But somehow, the mother will be teaching them, say A, say B, say C. And within a couple of months, they begin to recite the alphabets. It is the same thing. This program is designed for babies, people who don't know anything. In your third year, sorry, in your second or third or fourth course, you understand the program very, very well. That's exactly how it works. I have taken many people from the streets, not knowing nothing. And within 6 months, they were working in IT or cybersecurity, getting paid a lot of money. So this program is designed for anyone who wants to enter the IT field. The program courses, right? As you can see, all the 3 programs that I talked about, you will get a copy of this presentation. If you click on the link, I'm clicking on the link to see what will show up. Here we go. You see the curriculum, right? It walks you through semester by semester what you need to take, right? Semester by semester, right? To finish the program, it walks you through it step by step to the 4th semester when you graduate. Okay. So every single one of the programs, there's the link for it. Okay, based on which one you are interested in. Okay, it walks you through step by step what you need to take. And like I said, they are all transferable. You can transfer to a 4-year institution. Most of the people, when I counsel them, this is what I tell them. I tell them that this is IT, is a very has a lot of job postings. So even whilst you are working, you can obtain a certification and apply for a job and even get your company to pay for your education. I am a product of that. I don't owe any school loan because of that, right? You can work and go to school the same time for the field of IT because there's a lot of jobs, right? So this is my best advice I can give to anyone, all right? Nobody wants to pay student loans. All right. Now, earlier, you saw me talking about the difference between AAS and AS. If you look at the recommended preparation for AAS, you notice that it doesn't require a lot in terms of mathematics, right? All you may have to have is a geometry from high school, and you are good to go. When you enter the program only requires you to take just one math, right? And I can just click on it and show it to you so that you believe it. When I say just one math, right? This is it. This is the only math you have to take, right? This is it. This is all. This is for AAS, just one math. Now, when you look at it for AS, right? The AS, you can see that it requires a little bit because you have to go beyond geometry. You have to take pre-calculus, right? You can see pre-calculus. So it requires a little bit of math in the AS program. So I'm going to click on it and show you the AS. It requires at least 2 math, pre-calculus and calculus, right there. So it requires you to take pre-calculus and also calculus right there. You see it before you transfer. The majority of the students that I get, they usually go towards the IST. And I personally feel the reason why they do IST is because of the math. Some don't like math. That's the only reason why. But now let me also caution you. If somebody tells you that AS is better than AAS, it is false. It is false. Because most of the places where I have worked, I work with people that all of us were getting paid over 100,000. A lot of them, about 80%, they have no degree. All they have is certifications. That's all they have. But we're all getting paid 100,000 just like me. You get it? So if somebody tells you that AS is better than AS, it is false. But then if somebody tells you that bachelor's degree is better than associate degree, that is true. Master's degree is better than bachelor's, that is true. PhD is better than any other, that is true. Right? Education is the best. That's all I can tell you. So going through the community college route and saving a lot of money before transferring is worth it. Very, very worth it. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you another thing that makes us special as Nova. We have an advisory board. And the purpose of our advisory board is to bring in experienced professionals, including company managers and CEOs who are local in the Washington, D.C. area. They advise us. They review our program. They tell us, we want you to teach this because this is where the world is going. Teach this stuff. If you teach this stuff, your students can find jobs easily. The board members also, some of them hire our students when they graduate. So this is the beautiful thing about our program. Okay, these are the beautiful thing about our program. So having an advisory board is great because they will tell you what is wrong in your program. And these are very, very skilled people. As you can see, I have been talking a lot about cybersecurity. And somebody will say, what is this cybersecurity? Because I hear a lot about it. The truth is that we are responsible for protecting data, right? For instance, Nova has cybersecurity experts. Their responsibility is to make sure that bad people cannot come into the system and change their grades. Their responsibility is to make sure that bad people cannot enter our system and steal information from our HR department. Every organization needs specialists from cybersecurity. This is what this program is designed for. The whole world needs specialists for cybersecurity. That's why the job is right here. And this is the code that I was talking about. As you see the code, the world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but data. Right? And let me show you something really quickly here. Sorry here. Right? Here, you can see that they will begin to tell you what is lacking. I'm just clicking on Virginia, right? So if I click on Virginia, look at that. I mean, this is jobs. You can see certain jobs, plenty of jobs. Even when you look at the national level, it begins to tell you right now, IT and cyber, look at the job posting right now. They need this right now, openings. 500,000 jobs right now that somebody can apply. You get it? There's nothing like it. All right. Yeah, so you can see that this is very important. Look at this chart right here. It tells you a lot. The crimes for cyber is about $6 trillion. This is how much it's costing the world by 2021, just next year. 6 trillion. So you'll be paid a lot of money to make sure that this doesn't happen. The biggest problem that we are facing is the skills gap. The third bullet, skills gap. People are being taught theory. Theory is not helping. Our program is designed to teach you hands-on so that you can help close the gap. We want to help you close the gap. People are looking for students who know things by hands-on. Okay, that's the idea here. Very, very important. Now, our program, our cybersecurity and cloud delivers industry-leading systems and courseware with proven industry methods, using a combination of classroom lectures and virtual platform labs. We are leveraging technology in the cloud to actually teach you the things that you need to know. That's what makes us special. Our intensive practical hands-on approach transforms students with little to no experience, right, into competent entry to mid-level, all right, in information technology. We will teach you the things that you need to know. We do a lot of competitions. Right? We do a lot of competitions. In our competitions, we travel to different places to compete against other schools. Okay. Also, because of COVID-19, the pandemic, we are doing stuff online. We do stuff online, training online. So the key thing is hands-on, hands-on, hands-on. That is the only way for IT. You got to learn your hands-on very well. The whole idea is confronting threats in the world. That's our goal. This is why we live in the right place. When I put this thing here, we are at the right place, at the right time, talking to the right people, doing the right things. Now, what is the right place? The right place is the Washington, D.C. area. Okay, there's a lot of jobs here in Washington, D.C. area. At the right time, this is the right time because there's a lot of attacks against systems. This is the right time to protect systems. Talking to the right people. The right people is the experts. People like us will teach you in a classroom. So you are talking to the right people. And we are always doing the right thing. Right? We are always doing the right thing. Why? Because we have what? We have advisory board who advise us and help us to actually teach the right things. So that's what I put this there for that reason. Now, you may also have heard about this. A while ago, you heard me say that, okay, I can take somebody from the street and teach them 6 months. They can get certifications and they'll get a job without even having a degree. The reason is because the government wants people to be certified on top of their degree in order to be hired. The certification will validate that you know your materials. Just like a nurse, when a nurse finishes their master's degree or their bachelor's degree, they have to go take something called InClass, which is a certification for nursing. It is the same thing for IT. After your degree, you need some certifications. Otherwise, the government will not hire you. Or even some private sectors will not hire you. So if you look at this chart is from the government. The government will tell you if you want to work in the beginning level, called level 1, you need to get these certifications. If you want to work in level 2, you need to get these certifications. If you want to work in level 3, you need to get this right here. The more level you climb, the more your pay. You get it? That's how it is. So the government would like you to get certifications. The important thing is that in Nova, our courses aligns with the certifications. So as you take classes, you can take some certifications. You see? So I just jotted down some few classes that actually maps to different certifications, right? So by the time you graduate, you should be able to have between 3 to 5 certifications without any problem. Right? And these are some of the titles. Some of the titles for hiring: help desk, IT specialist, system administrator, cybersecurity analyst, cybersecurity engineer, web developer, database administrator, systems engineer. It comes with a lot, right? There are titles for people who help break into computer systems. And there are titles for people who help prevent attacks against computer systems. You get it? So there are many, many different titles, right? I can come up with over 100 titles for IT and cybersecurity. So I'm ending it right here. The last 1 minute, I'm on time. The following are the programs that we engage our students. These are all competitions. All cyber organization, NOVA cyber sports team. We have a sports team which teaches you how to attack and defend. Cyber Fusion, National Cyber League, and collegiate cyber defense competition. So these are all training. So this ends my presentation, okay? This was just to show you that at one point we came in first place among community colleges. And if you have any questions, I'll be willing to answer your questions just for 1 or 2 minutes.
AK, you're amazing. I love it. You're like, I got 1 minute left and I'm doing it. So we love it. So if anyone has any questions that you'd like to ask, you can ask it in the chat. We also will be transitioning, and we have Lisa Scott, who will be talking about our veterinary technologies program. And what's really awesome is that if you have questions that are related to cybersecurity or even other IET related areas, you can actually type that question in the chat, and KK will actually be able to see that, you know, while we're also going through and hearing from Lisa talking about her program area. And so if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat, and we'll help monitor that, and KK has access to that, so he can respond as needed. And next, what we'll do is we'll turn it over to Lisa. So Lisa, I'm not sure if you're able to, if you wanted to share your screen, if you're able to do that, or if you needed us to do that.
Yes, I can.
Awesome. And we're very excited to have, as I mentioned, a second faculty member from NOVA who has been very supportive of our STEM outreach related events and IET related events and programs as well. And Lisa has been a big supporter of all of the new things that we've been doing this year. And so we thank you, Lisa, for being here with us. And we can see your screen, and we actually see it where it has the next slide. So I don't know if that's the view that you want them to see the next slide after it. But we do see your current slide and then what's coming up next.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with that, so this is fine.
Okay, that'll be fine. I'm going to mute myself, and thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. So my name is Lisa Scott. I'm the Vet Tech Program Manager, and I've been with the program for about 2 years. And I graduated from the program about 20 years ago from this actual program. And so it feels good to be back home, I guess, so to speak. I have had the last 14 years emergency and critical care experience with also oncology. So I primarily was in specialty. So as a veterinary technician, you know, most people haven't heard of it, but what we are basically equivalent to a registered nurse for human medicine. So we work underneath the veterinarian to help assess illness and injuries of animals. We're also licensed to practice veterinary medicine by the state boards. We do take a national board exam. And so it's really funny because, you know, not a lot of people know who we are, but everyone thinks we just play with puppies and kittens all day long, which is a fantastic portion of what we do, but we also do some really hands-on critical thinking veterinary medicine. So just a little preview of that. And then this is going into whether or not you want to be a vet or a technician. And a lot of people think that you can segue and become a licensed technician and then become a vet. And it's really 2 career paths that you want to choose. It's kind of like, would you go to nursing and then become a, you know, human doctor? Most people don't take that path. So just to throw out some stats out there. So veterinarians can either be a DVM or BMD, which Penn State is, you know, has their own special BMD. So tuition is about $200,000 to $300,000 just to go to vet school. So that doesn't include undergrad. It doesn't include a master's or anything like that. It takes about 6 to 8 years of college, sometimes more. And that doesn't include if you want to go to specialty medicine. This is just to go out and practice primary care. Starting salary is anywhere from $75,000 to $90,000, usually in this area. Of course, it's a little bit more if you expand out into more rural areas, or if you go into animal, like large animal medicine. And then for our licensed veterinary technician program, Our tuition is about $20,000, and that includes, tuition, books, parking, any supplies that you need. You do have to get rabies vaccinated to protect yourself, because of course we might be encountering some animals that might be exposed to rabies. And then college is about 2 to 3 years with an AAS degree at the end. So starting salary is about $36,000 to $40,000 annually, and usually you can cap up to about $60,000 to $75,000, depending on if you go through further schooling in higher learning, and we'll go into that in a minute. So the difference between a vet and a license really is just 3 things. We cannot diagnose, prescribe, or perform surgery. So a licensed technician, we generally do all the hands-on fun things with the animals, and the veterinarians are the ones that have to write up the medical records and talk with the clients and things like that. But we also talk with clients too. So it's really important. A lot of people think that if you go into veterinary medicine that you're just going to play with the puppies and kittens and you don't get to talk to people, and they want this field because they do like animals, they want to help them, but they don't realize that there's a whole other side of humans that are attached to those animals. So it's really good to have good communication skills, because you're working with people and you're also, have your clients that are people. And then both are in high demand, especially technicians. I can't tell you how many emails I get every day for hospitals looking for, technicians and LVTs. So you can pretty much graduate from our program and work anywhere you want. So about our program, so we were actually established in 1975, and we actually are in the Loudoun campus. We have our own building, and it's set up like a veterinary hospital. So we have an x-ray unit, we have dental x-rays, we have a surgery suite and prep area, along with our labs. Our lectures are not held in there, but basically any lab is held there. So we graduate about 50 students annually, and our application period is between April 1st and June 1st. So we usually want you to take your prerequisite courses before applying, and we'll go into that. Our faculty and instructors are comprised of veterinarians and licensed veterinary technicians, and all of them come with so many years of experience in a wide variety of fields. We have vets from small animal practice, we have some that went into specialty like surgery, others that have done large animal and horses. So you get a well-rounded group who are versed in what they're teaching. And we actually just got on board another licensed technician who is from lab animal medicine. So she brings in a wealth of knowledge on that side. So there's that. And so the 2 programs that we offer are full-time programs. So it's 2 years to complete once you're accepted. And then the part-time program is 3 years to complete once accepted. And both require you to work in a veterinary facility. And this allows you to apply all the knowledge that you're learning, because we're building on so much so fast. A lot of our students don't have a lot of experience coming in. And so when you graduate, you go from not even knowing how to hold a patient to being able to put them under for anesthesia, monitor them for anesthesia, suture skin. You're going to be able to remove teeth from dentals. You're going to be doing dental cleanings, all kinds of stuff. So you really move fast. Both programs require a veterinarian as a mentor, and if you're working in a veterinary facility, that's fine. It'll work out that way. And then we do offer on-campus and online synchronous courses. So if you are working and you have a hard time attending all of our courses, we have the option for you to do it online as well. And so our prerequisite courses are listed here. We have Orientation to Veterinary Technology, English Composition 1, and then Introductory to Chemistry, and then General Chemistry. So I generally tell students to take General Chemistry because it can transfer, or the Chem 101 Introductory Chemistry cannot. But if you're terrible at chemistry and you just want to take it, then by all means take it. That's fine. We'll accept you no matter what. But I usually just recommend the Chem 111 in case you want to pursue further education like a bachelor's, then you don't have to retake another chemistry, which is what I had to do. And then Math 133, Mathematics for Health Professionals. This is where we'll teach you how to calculate drug calculations. You'll be able to do constant rate infusions, which are basically medications that are added into an IV bag, and you're able to set a drip rate for those and give medicines through an IV bag. And then of course Vet 111, which is our anatomy and physiology of domestic animals. And then this is where you actually get to dissect a cat for this course. And so because our building is like an animal hospital, we do have animals that stay in our building. So we work with cats and dogs from Frederick County. And we work with a more rural area because Loudoun County has a lot of animals. Most of them are already fixed and spayed. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink of water. So they don't really need, excuse me, the health care that, sorry, excuse me one second, I'm gonna mute myself.
So while Lisa is coming back on, taking a minute away, if anyone has any questions about anything that she's talked about so far, you can type that in the chat so that we can help with answering those questions or having Lisa answering those questions for you all.
Okay, I'm back. Hopefully I'm okay now. So anyways, our animals, we have cats and dogs that come to the shelter. And of those animals, we actually pull blood, we do vaccines, and do surgery. So we'll spay and neuter them, we'll get dentals, and sometimes we'll do mass removals. And so our students are actually the ones that are pulling blood and inducing them and putting them under anesthesia and monitoring them. While the faculty member who teaches the course is the one that's performing the surgery because they're the veterinarian. And then we also do farm field trips where there's horses and ponies and cattle. So we'll take x-rays of horses. We'll learn the proper restraint for cattle and horses, different natures like that. Our program also owns rabbits and rats. And so there we'll provide hands-on experience with those animals, doing injections and things like that. And we actually have an advisory committee that oversees the handling of our animals to make sure that we're abiding by the rules of those. So none of our animals are overly used. We definitely keep in mind that their quality of life is, you know, the first of our priority over anything that we are doing to them. So we would rather not have them stressed out and skip an animal than try to push through things. And so our in-class lab. So like I mentioned, you know, the first things you have to do is learn how to hold an animal and restrain them. And while some of them are a little bit more difficult to do, we try to allow our students to become fear-free certified. And that basically means that we're doing a less hands-on wrestling them down basically and trying to offer treats and be really slow with them in order to keep them from being scared instead of just wrestling them down to the ground to do whatever task we need to do. We also do chemical restraint too, which is medications that will help sedate them in order for us to do a variety of treatments that we need to do. So in addition to that, you'll learn surgical nursing, which again is where you're inducing the patient and prepping them for surgery, and anesthesia, where we're monitoring the patient while they're under. We also go into emergency medicine and critical care. And then also hematology, which is a study of blood. So we look at the blood under the microscope, and we have several blood machines that can analyze the samples. And then we also do cytology, which is the study of animal cells. And so this would be anywhere from, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Hold on one moment.
I'm not sure if anybody noticed, but Lisa has a cat as her profile picture. We couldn't figure out in the waiting room because it had a different name connected with her sign-in. And so we weren't sure who that was. And, you know, for Brittany and I, it should have dawned on us, it's probably Lisa because it's got an animal on it, right? Veterinary.
Yeah, that's normal. Our cat, so my water heater went out, so I figured you guys would rather see her than me. So anyway, so cytology, so we study anywhere from feces to urine to skin cells, or you know, if we do a fine needle aspirate of a mass or something like that. And then we also have radiology. And so that's taking x-rays of our patients, whether it be skull, chest, thorax, limbs, all of that stuff. And then we also do dental prophylaxis. So we do dental cleanings on cats and dogs, sedated, of course. And then we can also do single rooted tooth extractions, which is kind of cool to do. And then we also have exotics and laboratory medicine. And that portion is very small. Most of our labs are comprised of domestic animals, so cats and dogs, and then we do sprinkle in horses and cattle and exotics and lab medicine throughout our program. It's just you won't get a lot of that through us. And so how do you become a licensed technician? So while you can graduate from our program and get your veterinary technology degree, we provide you the skills to then be able to pass your veterinary technician national exams. You actually have to register to become licensed or to take this exam, pass it, and then you can apply for state credentialing to become licensed. So while we're the program that provides you the information, you actually take the board exam through the state and not through us. And so a lot of people, think that our career opportunities are pretty limited, but there is so many facets of our, for job opportunities. And while most students go for primary care and domestic animals, like I mentioned, I went into specialty care. So I did emergency and critical care for 7 years, and then I did oncology for another 7 years. But there's a wide variety. I mean, anything that you can do in human medicine, you pretty much can do in animal medicine. So, people are often surprised, like, yes, I gave chemotherapy to dogs. Yes, we did it intravenous, chemotherapies, not just pills. So people spend good money for their animals. They're like their children. So with that comes, large bills, and obviously you get better pay if you start specializing too. But, you can go into exotics, which are usually, sometimes pocket pets, but then you go into birds and snakes and different things like that. And usually those are their own clinics. You won't really see them with primary care. And then of course you can have shelter medicine. Like Loudoun County, they have, I believe they have an animal hospital associated with them, or they're getting one very soon. And then wildlife medicine, we work closely with them as well. And so they have licensed technicians, that are from our program that work there. Zoo medicine as well. Actually, one of my really good friends works at the National Smithsonian Zoo. So she gets to do anesthesia on all these crazy animals. She gets to travel the world, to help save these, nearly extinct animals. It's just an amazing thing that she's doing. Marine medicine, I would say you can get jobs at aquariums like the Baltimore Aquarium, but these types of jobs are pretty highly competitive. So trying to get your foot in the door, you want to try to get that done as soon as possible through volunteer work prior to trying to apply. And then of course there's equine and farm animal, and then agriculture, and then laboratory and research medicine, and then of course education, like what we do. And that usually requires higher education, and so I'll go into that when we move on. And so with our higher level, so with our degree, you get the AAS in veterinary technology. What you can do with that is get a veterinary technician specialty. And there's 16 different disciplines. Most of them are what I listed in the previous slide. And that requires several years of working in the field, having case studies built up, and getting that experience, and then being able to take an exam related to the specialty you want to do. And then there's also a certificate in veterinary practice management. So a lot of us that have experience and move up in our animal hospitals tend to take managerial roles, whether it's a shift lead or to actually manage the entire practice. So they have certifications for that as well. And then a bachelor's in veterinary technology. So once you complete our AAS degree, you can move on to a different college and get a bachelor's to become a veterinary technologist. And that's the difference with the 4 years, you become a veterinary technologist. And then that way you have more ability to do things with your degree. So if you do want to go into education, it allows you to be able to do that. And I think that's pretty much it. So if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to help answer them. I'm super early with my timing.
Awesome. So if you all have any questions for Lisa, you can, if you'd like to raise your hand, or you can type in the chat. We can unmute you to answer. We do have a question related to the veterinary side. So if I'm interested in becoming a full vet doctor, what would be the quickest route to get there? Does completing the vet tech at Nova, is that a prerequisite?
Right. So again, you don't want to take our program and then go into vet school. Ours is a completely different path. So what you want to do is actually apply to, you can take classes at Nova, get an AS, in science, and then you can transfer to a 4-year degree and finish out your prerequisite. So each vet school is different and have different requirements. And so you'll just want to make sure that you take those courses. And that was actually something I was going to pursue after my degree here as a technician. And so I got my bachelor's, I completed everything, and then I was like, you know what, I don't want a mortgage for a payment to only make a little bit more than what I'm already making. So I actually backtracked and didn't do that. But you'll want to follow that path through and not take our program. Now, if you just want your foot in the door and you have that time and you want experience, and certainly we do have students that have done that where they wanted to be a technician, they graduated from our program, and then they said, hey, wait, I can do more. And then they went on to vet school. But if you know right off the bat you want to be a vet, then I would say just go that route.
I have another question, Lisa. Is the vet tech program competitive for applicants like the nursing program? And how difficult is it to get in?
Yeah, we're not nearly as competitive as nursing. And right now we're actually in a lull in our applications. So as long as you have the prerequisites completed, you're pretty much a shoo-in to get in. But in the past, like about 3 years ago, it was pretty competitive. And I imagine we'll come out of that flux here in a couple of years too.
And this question is, Lisa, for you and for KK. When you think back to what think about what you're doing now and think about the earliest memory that you can think of, what is your earliest memory related to what you're doing now? So for example, I joke and say that I do have a photography business on the side, but when I was 7 years old, I actually had a Holly Hobby camera and I loved taking pictures at 7 and took them all throughout like high school and middle school, but I never took any classes, but I've just always had this passion for photography. Would either of you say that your current work that you're doing, what kind of was that turning point for you, or that memory, earliest memory?
So for me, I've always loved animals. And I think when you go into this field, you'll find that all of us wanted to be a vet when we were little. And so I remember I wasn't allowed to have animals. And I remember my mom was gardening in our front of the house and a cat walked by. And she would always say that she's allergic to cats. And so I started petting the cat and I said, Mom, look at this cat. And she didn't do anything and act allergic like she normally did. And I was like, Mom, I thought you're allergic. And she then started coughing, which you don't cough when you're allergic to cats. You sneeze and you're like get itchy and stuff like that. So I thought that was funny because I'm like, you lied. Like you just don't want to have animals. But then actually, I actually had a traumatic event happen when I was probably like 4th or 5th grade. I was walking to the library and I saw an orange cat get hit by a car, like right in front of me. And so I ran over to the cat and I held it. It was still alive, but it died in my arms. So at that moment, I knew that I wanted to work with animals. And there was actually an animal hospital right near the library, so I was able to take it there. And so they took care of it. But yeah, that was where it kind of set in for me, like, this is what I want to do.
Thank you for sharing. And what about you, KK?
Yeah, mine's a little bit different, right? I came here about 30 years ago, when I was 13 years old. 13 years old. I've never seen a computer before. You get it? So the first time I saw a computer, I'm in 8th grade.
Wow.
I couldn't even write. I couldn't even write English very well. You get it? And I was fortunate to have a dad who actually pushed me a little bit to take education a little bit seriously. So I did exactly that. But to be honest with you, I can remember articles in my school papers. I was pretty much, I wanted to be a soccer star. That's what I wanted to be, a soccer star, to be honest with you. But somehow down the line, I took education seriously. I went to school to become an engineer. So I was building satellites. I was into building satellites, deploying satellites into space, working as a consultant for NASA. My company shut down, and then I looked at the area where I am, which is Washington, D.C. The biggest thing in the job market is IT. So I was like, well, 6 years ago, I said, let me do IT. So 6 years ago, I converted to IT. And, ever since I was in high school, I like playing with computers. I would just touch it when I saw it for the first time. I fell in love with it, so I keep playing with it. So when I transitioned into IT, it started coming naturally. It becomes very, very easy when you speak IT. You get it? So that's what kind of like happened to me. But also, I never intended to be a professor, because remember I told you in the beginning, I couldn't speak nor write English very well. So it wasn't part of my vocabulary. But I was teaching as part-time, and students kept forcing me and said, you need to teach IT, because when you teach, we understand what you are saying. So I quit my job 3 years ago and I became full-time professor. You know, so everything that I'm doing, in my childhood, I have no knowledge, I have no clue what I was doing. Okay, it just happened that the opportunity was there. I jumped in, I took it very seriously, and I was rewarded. So that's my story.
Wow. And you guys are sticking to your stories. We love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for sharing your time with us. And we do appreciate learning about the cybersecurity program and things related to IT, our IET division, and then also with our veterinary technology area. We appreciate it. We thank you for your time as NOVA faculty. We know that it's a very different time and everything's become virtual, and here we are asking you to do something else virtual. We just felt that there was a need for students, current students and potential students and parents to gather some more information about our programs that we offer, and we thank you all for sharing that with us. I'm going to share a few more housekeeping notes momentarily if everyone can hold on, but I'm going to end the session with the recording.